Hey everybody, this is Jake with J Brown Music and Repairs. Today we've got this Martin and we've got this LR Bags Anthem, and I'm going to walk you guys through how I install these. You have an output jack here. You also have, it's not in the image here, let's see if I can move this. But you have an undersaddle piezo, and then you also have this microphone, which will be stuck to the bridge plate. The bridge plate is directly underneath the guitar top on the inside. So yeah, there's the undersaddle piezo. And then your long shaft output jack. This hole will need to be bored to a 1/2 inch to accommodate for that. And then this is, of course, your EQ. So stick around. We're going to have this video put together for you. Okay, so generally, the output jack is going to mount through this hole right here. Generally, there is not already a hole here, and this is, I don't know, maybe a 3/8 or so, pretty small. Anyways, this is going to go through there. What I'm going to do is use my reaming tool. This is a reaming tool. You can get this from Harbor Freight. Not expensive. Mine, you can actually, so you can run a bolt through here and drive it by hand. I'll end up putting it in my drill bit, but just to show you that you can do this nice and slow and carefully if running the drill makes you nervous, which I can understand. So if you just twist, the cutters on this reamer will open this hole up. But what I'm going to do is put it in my drill for the sake of saving time. But first and foremost, let's go ahead and get this out of here. There we are. Get you out of there. There it goes. Almost. There it goes. Alright. So this will go through here when it's all said and done. We're going to go ahead and pop all this stuff off here. There we are. Now that I'm going to check up my reaming tool. Bring this right here. Nice. You can actually put this in forward or reverse because it's going to cut in either direction. It's really important that we keep the drill nice and parallel with the top of the guitar. I think I got a dead battery. I'll be right. Alright, so I've got this 1/4 inch hole, or I'm sorry, a 1/2 inch hole reamed out, and it's ready for the output jack. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put the wider. See, there's 2 sets of threads. There's a wide set of threads and a smaller set of threads. We have a wide nut that's going to go on first. And this distance is critical. This is going to be the inside clamp for what holds this output jack in place. So it squeezes like this. Next we're going to go with our washer. And then our lock washer. Like so. Alright, so I'm going to put this all of this inside the sound hole like this, very carefully. Just like that. Alright, so the tool I have to grab this output jack, it's this right here. You don't need this tool. You don't need to buy this. A 1/4 inch dowel from Home Depot or Lowe's or your nearest hardware store will suffice. So this is going to go in through the hole like so. We're going to plug it into the output jack. and then pull it all the way through. Managed to do this without hitting the camera. Come on now. Alright, I'm going to have to open this hole up a little bit more, I believe. Well, let's see here. Come on now. I know you want to. Okay, I got to open this hole just a little bit more. Still in camera, how about that? So to anybody listening, I do all these videos by myself, and I play guitar. I don't do electronic stuff all that well, but I'm getting better at this stuff, I think. So thank you for watching. Come on through. There it is. It wants to come. Come on. I need a little bit more slack. So right now you can't see it, but I'm rolling that larger washer back some so we can have a little bit more of the smaller threads pull through. Come on. All right, a little bit more thread. There it is. Just a little bit more though. So this is good for when these output jacks come loose with these bag systems and these Fishman systems. So this is a good skill set to know. Next we're going to go with our smaller washer that goes on, and then our smaller nut, like so. There you are. Very nice. All right, so there's a little hole inside the smaller threads, and what I'm going to do is take this flathead screwdriver and hold it in place just like that so that I can tighten this up without it moving much. There we go. And then next, the decorative nut. Okay. And then just a little bit of tape to protect. And then I usually will just give this one, this very last one, just a little bit of a turn. It doesn't need much. Perfect. And there you are. There's the output jack in place. Next we're going to drill for the piezo, the undersaddle piezo. And then we'll move on to installing the microphone and the battery pack and all the rest of that good stuff. So stick around. Okay, we're back and we are ready to drill for the piezo. Piezo or piezo, however you would like to say it, I guess. This is it right here. It's this braided wire, and it's going to run along the bottom channel of your bridge. And what happens, I'm sorry, your saddle, and your saddle will press down on top of it. So it's really critical that the bottom of this slot is nice and flat, and the bottom of this saddle is also nice and flat, so that you have even volume output from each one of your strings, because it does require even pressure for this to work properly. This slot is a 3/32 slot. So when you go to order your system, it'll ask you for wide or narrow, and this is narrow, which is 3/32. The wide, I believe, is an 1/8. So just something to know. I've chucked up a... I've got two hands on this drill, by the way. I've chucked up this 3/32 bit. There is actually a hole inside the bridge already, right here. I'm going to aim for this hole. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drill straight down, and then I'm going to kind of turn it this way. So I want a little bit, I don't want the hole to be straight up and down on this side. I want it to I want it to be pitched slightly so that this lays flat. There's no hump right here. And additionally, I'm going to drill a little hole on the other end for the end of this to fit in, because sometimes you don't get quite as much output here on the end. So you want it to you want basically this portion of it to be what's in operation. So let's get to this. So we're going to drill right through, nice and slow, nice and straight up and down. I like to keep my left hand underneath here just to catch the drill in case it gets out of my control. Just like that. All right, so now we've drilled through, and what we're going to do is we're going to kind of roll it this way just a little bit. There we go. Just a bit, and then we're also going to drill a receiving hole. And that is basically it. What we're going to do is try to run this up through here. This is the searching process. Grab a different tool. Sometimes you don't know where your hand is in there, so you've got to use this. Figure out where your hand is. There you are. Where are you? There it is. Make sure the slot is nice and cleared out. Into the other hole on the other side. Nice and flat. So this will raise your action up ever so slightly. And so sometimes you might have to level this saddle down a touch, which we might have to do. I think I got this. Nope, that's right. There we are. Now we'll have to see if that saddle is going to need some adjustment during the setup process, but let's move on. All right, so next we're going to mount this microphone. It's going to go right here underneath the saddle. So what you want to do, and this is a tip that I was told by the reps at LR Bag, that you need a little bit, believe it or not, of tight bond. I've got just a little bit in here, if I can get it out. So apparently this is held in with double stick tape, so most of the hard part of this is done. This is tight bond. It doesn't stick. It sticks to wood. It doesn't stick to the finish. What we were going to do is use this pin. This is just a guide to make sure that we hit right here in the center. We're going to take a little bit of glue on our pinky. We're going to run it onto the bridge plate. So I'm placing this glue, just a little thin layer underneath here. And this is, again, this is what they tell you to do. At least this is what a rep has told me to keep this double stick tape from failing. And we're going to do the same thing with the volume control. Okay, cool. That should do it. We're going to remove this double stick tape. I'm going to use this to make sure I get it where I want it to go. Oh yeah. Not interfering. A little bit there. There we go. Now, I'm going to give it a good 30 seconds of pressure. And that's going to be it. The rest of this is pretty simple. The most complicated thing is really drilling out for that output jack. And we're going to do the same process for, this is your We're actually going to do this later on after we've got strings on it, because we want to make sure we don't need to make much adjustments here. Next we have our battery pack. Where are you at? There it is. Here's your battery. I'm sorry, your battery terminal. Here's your battery pack. I generally like to put it right here. It's easy to get to, and it's less likely to fail. So I'm going to go ahead and install a battery. Into the battery pack we go. Oh yeah. And in this case, we are going to touch up a little bit of the wood in there with a little of this 220. So if you scuff the wood up, the adhesive is more likely to stick. And so that's what I'm going to do right here in this area. Just a little bit of back and forth with the 220. Just a little bit. Off comes the double stick tape. There you are. Now let's do a quick test. And it works. Yep. So this right here is a blend. It's actually the volume on the microphone, so you can get two different kinds of tones. So we're going to give it about halfway, I think. A little bit more. And back it up just a little bit. Okay. And this will mount right here. You want to feel and make sure you're not on any of the braces on the inside. And that's going to go right there. So same process in this case. We're going to take a touch of some sandpaper, scuff up right here. A touch of tight bond glue. On the pinky, I always use my pinky because it's my least used finger. There we go. Now we have our tape here, double stick tape. Now, if it's inevitable that these are going to fall down into the sound hole over time, especially if it's a well-used instrument. So you can contact LR Bags and they'll send you this replacement double stick tape for free. So good thing to know. There we go. And same thing, about 30 seconds of pressure. One, two, three, 6. And that's basically it. I'm going to come back after so I'm going to corral, so I guess it's not completely it. I've got these that I'm going to corral all these wires up with and make it nice and neat on the inside. You have to do that with your basically by hand. And then I'm going to set this up and I'll be back to do a test drive on this. And that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. Stick around for the test drive, jbrownmusicandrepairs.com. So just got this Anthem in place. Got your... Thank you for watching, jbrownmusicandrepairs.com.